All right, let's dive in. We're going to challenge a massive assumption that so many investors make. It's this powerful pattern that honestly, most people are completely ignoring. Let's talk about what I call the global wealth flip.
So let's just start with a big question, one that might even sound a little crazy to some people. What if the biggest stock market returns over the next, say, 20 years don't actually come from the USA?
I mean, it makes sense why we think this way, right? For the last 14 years, the US markets have been on an absolute tear. I mean, they've dominated everything. It's kind of felt like the only game in town. But what if that really, really long winning streak is the exact reason we should be paying way closer attention right now?
Okay, so to really get a grip on where we might be headed, we've got to look back. We need to look at this unavoidable pattern that just keeps showing up in history. Because here's the thing, whatever feels permanent today, well, it rarely ever is.
Let's break this down with a super simple analogy. I want you to picture the entire world's economy as one giant cake, okay? And each country, well, that's just a slice of the total value of that cake.
So if we hop in a time machine and go all the way back to 1900, the United Kingdom was the world superpower. No question. They held a massive 24% slice of that whole global cake. And back then, it would have seemed completely obvious, totally nuts to think anything else, that their dominance would just last forever.
But here's the thing about being number one. It's never permanent. After the UK's long run, we saw Japan's meteoric rise in the late 80s. I mean, it really looked like they were going to own the entire future of technology. And now, well, now we're living in the American era. You see the pattern here, right? The top spot always, eventually, changes hands. And this cycle, this historical pattern, it points to a huge risk that's just hiding in plain sight for millions of us today. And that is the S&P 500's big risk. So here's the crucial thing you need to know. You might think you're diversified because you own an S&P 500 fund. But for every single dollar you put in, a whopping 40 cents of it goes into just 10 giant tech companies. Think about that. Your portfolio is way more concentrated, way more top-heavy than you probably realize. And what are these handful of companies doing? Well, they're locked in this massive, high-stakes arms race for AI dominance. We're talking about them spending a mind-boggling $330 billion a year on this. It is an enormous bet. And honestly, nobody knows for sure who's going to win. And this right here is the heart of the risk. Their stock prices, they aren't really based on what they're earning today. No, they're based on the hope that they'll make trillions in the future. It's a bet on perfection. And if that perfect future doesn't show up exactly as planned, well, the same stocks that made your portfolio look so good could be the very ones that bring it all down.
And while all that's happening, this US-only focus means you're completely missing out on some global powerhouses. I mean, just think about it for a second. You're missing TSMC, the company that basically makes every advanced computer chip on the planet. You're missing Samsung, a leader in everything from your phone to massive industrial equipment. You're missing Toyota, a giant in manufacturing. And you're missing out on them just because of where they're based.
Okay, so that's the problem. And it sounds kind of scary. But look, there's no need to panic, because there is a surprisingly simple global solution. Let's talk about it. What we're talking about is something called a global stock market fund, and it's really as simple as it sounds. It's one single fund that gives you instant ownership of a tiny piece of thousands of the world's best companies, all spread out across dozens and dozens of countries.
So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means you get a stake in almost 3,800 different companies,
Spread all across 45 different countries. So you're positioned to capture growth no matter where on earth it's happening.
And the best part? You get all of this incredible worldwide diversification in just one single fund. It's simplicity and power, all rolled into one. And here's how easy it is. You put your money in and boom, you instantly own a small piece of that whole global economic cake we talked about. But here's the real magic. The fund rebalances for you automatically. So if the slice for the US gets a little smaller and maybe the slice for Europe or Asia gets bigger, the fund just shifts your money for you. You are always positioned where the growth is and you don't have to lift a finger.
When you boil it all down, this is really about a choice between two different mindsets. On one hand, you have the drifter. The drifter just kind of follows the crowd, lets life happen, and hopes for the best. But on the other hand, you've got the architect. The architect is intentional. They see these patterns in history and they build a strong, resilient plan that's designed to handle whatever comes its way. It's really about choosing to be the architect of your own financial future.
So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. Ask yourself this: are you trying to predict the future, or are you preparing for it? The choice, as always, is yours.